you need a way to collect that data. That's part of it. If you're going to match skills, who's got what skills and who needs what skills, and find some way to smoothly streamline that.
So the main area of focus that I would be able to help is either visual effects or possibly on the design side, in terms of what our company represents. I'm curious, have you guys heard of an organization called Access VFX?
No, I haven't.
So it started in the UK. I believe there's now a LA chapter. And what Access VFX is about, it's got various subgroups or working groups, I guess you call. There's one for LGBTQ. There's one for it's called X Access, but I'm not sure. I think it's, I know that the chair of it, she's Black and she spoke on our Black Perspectives panel. I think it's focused on Black youth, but it might be POC. I'm not sure. I have to double check that one. But they have various initiatives where what they're trying to do is they're trying to reach out to underprivileged kids. It started with the UK, whether that was economic, whether that was based on location, whether that was based on gender, whether that was based, like whatever underrepresented community that our industry faces, which is everything, since it's so white male driven. It's a whole other topic, which, you know, that's hours to complain about that. So what they do is that what we fund as part of that is their mentor program. So what they offer is they offer mentorship. So it's basically run by a lot of HR departments at film studios. It's not dissimilar to what the team at the Academy Software Foundation is doing, but they're very focused on computer programming. I kind of sit in that middle where I'm like, well, yes, it's good to have programming if you want a certain job using our tools, but we mainly target the art side. So while I'm supporting that because I believe strongly in the need for diversity in the industry, and I'm doing whatever I can to help, my heart is right now with Access because they're actually targeting the communities that need the most help and offering mentor programs. So there might be some synergy there between that organization. There is an LA chapter as well.
How do they interface with the International Visual Effects Society?
With the VES? I don't know. I don't know.
I wondered, because a really good friend of mine, I mean, really close friend, and I worked with him for years at AFI. He ended up becoming their head of facilities as well as all of the IT stuff. He's just took a job as the operations manager there.
Oh,
and
did he? Okay.
was talking to him about, internships and mentoring, and that's something that would be new. They're not really quite doing anything like that at all. But
take a look at this when you have time. Access VFX. There is an LA chapter. And it's definitely something, because I mean, I'd love to know more about how I can help your mission, basically is what it's coming down to.
And really what we wanted to do was just to make sure that we brought back little parts of this to the group that's going to be meeting at 2:30 with the folks from Apple, but they represent really the critical mass of what can we do to get more students into a pipeline program that is targeted for underrepresentation in these growth areas of the industry. And it's really more of the creative side that's going to take the lead, because that's why we're in Hollywood. That's why we're out here in LA.
Right.
Okay? And so we're going to try and get back with you with some notes on what we decided we're going to come up with. I'm just the promoter. My heart is really what drives me. And so I'm trying to get a role as a promoter of all the things that people can do to boil the ocean down to one or two things that we can propose. And so that's what my plan is to come back with some notes to you, Jennifer, about what we plan on doing during Black History Month as a launch point, so we can do something.
Okay, awesome. Can you let me know how many, and I could be a couple of minutes late, it's an internal call, but I have to present at some point. That's why I do have to go at some point. But can you tell me how many students you're thinking of in this program, roughly?
Wow. Well, we have, I can't speak for Anna Marie, but I have access right now to probably close to at least 4,000 students in the community college system. And the California State University system, I have no idea. Anna Marie, how many people do you think that could be reached or would be interested in a student-focused internship or talent pipeline program for visual effects?
Well, they definitely, I don't know, because I don't know the full numbers of the visual arts area, how many students are there and what their interests are. I know that there's at least probably a third to a half of my students. And they're not all, they come from, I'm teaching, it's basically a lecture class. It's really more of a hybrid lecture because they do produce student projects over the course of the semester using a variety of platforms. And they come from mainly what's now called emerging media. It used to be multimedia, but now the new buzzword is emerging. So
yeah, multi is like my generation.
yeah.
Like your
even
CD-ROMs.
yeah, or even earlier, multimedia. Joseph Cornell, the artist who made the little boxes, collages, was considered multimedia. So this is meant to make it be more specific and more new, and something is always emerging. So, that's the TV Academy is trying to change their interactive media peer group to emerging media peer group. It's kind of all over. Anyway, they're from there. They're also from something called entertainment media management. So that
I love the idea of those courses. Those are so cool.
Yeah.
I've seen them
and
in
there's
Trick Group.
screenwriting, TV production, and so that it's a mixture. Media theory and criticism.
So maybe that's our task, Anna Marie, is to try to come up with some rough numbers of what the reach could be for.
Well, what I want to know is how I can best help you guys. And I think earlier, by the way, Anna Marie, I think I might have cut you off. It was a Zoom thing. I'm so sorry if I did.
That's okay.
I just realized, like, did I cut her off? That's not my style. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's Zoom. It's Zoom style.
So annoying. I'd love to know what we could do to help. Right. So I'm limited. Right now I'm a one-man band education, which is a slice of my job. We do have free student licenses that we are open to. What the student licenses are free for our customer schools, but we could put like California Community College. I don't know that like what the names are, if there's specific names per college, but like we could add that and offer free license. Like we can sponsor licenses for visual effects. I'm very interested in your SIGGRAPH program. I sponsored one years ago at Autodesk for high school kids. I thought similar idea, like out of East LA, they came to SIGGRAPH LA. I'm going back like 2010 or something like that, but wow. We did sponsor a similar program to that. I would also take a look at Access VFX because I think there might be a good way to make some connections there, especially with the mentor.
With them, if not, then we'll just.
I do, but I know the chair, and then it's a bunch of HR directors that are in the UK one. I don't know who's in charge of LA, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
And if you guys want to connect again next week, I'm more than open. Like once you kind of figure out what I could do for you.
Well, I think I'd like to start, with a small conversation. Maybe we're a special interest group within the special interest group. But yeah, I think maybe what we'll do is we'll do some research and start more focused on this conversation and see if we can maybe come up with a meeting next week that delivers some more actionable intelligence.
Well, and I think by partnering on, like looking at this organization who are always looking for students that need help in getting jobs, like this is what this organization is about. So I think there might be a nice connection. I also put a link to Screen Skills, just because you were talking about like what you need to know to get a job in the industry. This is a UK-based government organization. They've done a great, like I use it to map out some student stuff, like a texture artist needs to know blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, that's good for us because we make texture tools.
Right.
So they show pipelines. Like it might be really interesting for some of your courses. I stole some for a presentation borrowed, referenced. They have pipelines.
How are you guys utilizing VR and AR? Sorry, I'm cutting you off this time.
We have a 360. Like Nuke does 360, so it does like that kind of VR. It doesn't do, and people use Nuke to do the backgrounds in VR experiences.
Right.
But we're not interactive. We don't do the game engine part. So we sort of at this point with interactive VR, we're background, and if not, we do the beautiful 360 stuff.
Do you collaborate with others, like with Unity or Unreal or any of those?
Modo is our our design tool, and that hooks in. So that does 3D modeling. It's hard to compete with Maya, so we don't really position Modo as like a VFX tool but it's a cute little modeler that's really easy to use compared to Maya. You don't need to know scripting. It was built by the Lightwave people who wanted an easier modeler. But what's really interesting with that is our fastest growing market segment is shoe design. And there's a
Really?
really cool school. Yeah, they use Moto because you just need to model, right? So it's basically all about sustainability and not having to ship plastic from China to have your prototypes. And
Oh my God. I've
Nike's a
always
big
wanted to do
customer.
shoe design.
Well, there's an
Serious.
amazing guy named Dr. Dwayne Edwards out of a school called Pencil Academy. They were bought by Foot Locker, but he was like the lead engineer for lead designer for Air Jordans. And he is I mean, he's a
Wow.
black man, and he is
Dr.
like
Dwayne
the most,
Edwards.
yeah, Dr. Dwayne Edwards, and the diversity he talks about and the need in the shoe industry for young black talent is huge. Because I mean, the shoe industry tends to capitalize on basketball and market to black
Of
youth.
course.
So
Of
Dwayne's
course.
perspective, and we had he presented for us once, and it was just amazing. His whole thing is like, you need black designers. Like the footwear companies are exploiting our, to sell to
Absolutely.
us. We want to design for you, and he's just amazing. So
And
I would
they,
suggest
yeah,
looking
they're
him
really
up too.
interested in fashion. I will definitely. A friend of mine started the Innovative Textiles program at FITM, the Fashion Institute.
Oh,
And she
nice.
goes all over the world lecturing,
Well,
and she's showing things that are made out of many materials.
so
Right.
Moto is that type of fit for that
Yeah.
market. That's
Ah.
brilliant because it's cheaper and it's easy, and we've got a lot of hooks into. We have a feature that does shoelaces. I don't even understand how it does that, but it's a neat market for like anyone who maybe I don't want to go into film, but I'd love to go into design or consumer packaged good design or industrial design. So I think we could possibly do some stuff there as well.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the best programs will recognize a creativity that crosses
I know,
specific
wherever.
platforms and media. So that's interesting to me.
Okay.
I better
Well,
go because I have
Jennifer,
Yeah.
you better get out of here because we do not want to.
I know I could talk
gotta
all
go too.
day.
Fantastic.
Okay.
We'll follow up. I'll follow up with the suggested some time, and then Anna Marie again. I'll conversate with you about what days or what date or time is available for next week. And again, thank you again, Jennifer. This has been very, very helpful for me to
I'll tell
try
you
and
my
spread
sweet
the
spot.
idea.
2 p.m. Eastern is my sweet spot. I need to pick up my daughter around 3:30, so 3 p.m. is dicey.
Okay.
But because I work for a UK-based company, they all leave me alone by 2 o'clock. So 2 o'clock is
Okay.
usually
That's
a good sweet
good.
spot.
That's good.
11 o'clock our time. So I'll
Yeah, I'm
find
pretty much always free at that time.
11 o'clock.
Oh,
Okay. Thank you, Jennifer. Have a
okay.
great weekend.
Thank
Such a
you.
pleasure. I look forward to working with you.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.